John Bylian shocked the basketball world in May, leaving the comfort of Michigan for the unpredictable nature of the NBA to coach the Cleveland Cavaliers. So, you figured Michigan would go and hire the next up-and-comer from a mid-major. Or try to lure away a coach from another powerhouse. But the school went a different way. An unconventional way. It picked one of its own, Juwan Howard. A 19-year NBA veteran, who played with 8 teams and won 2 titles. Howard had never been a head coach at any level. His only real experience was as an assistant with the Miami Heat. So far, so great. Howard brings his 5th-ranked Wolverines to State Farm Center on Wednesday night to face an Illinois team trying to end a 2-game losing streak. The only loss for Michigan in an 8-1 getaway came at current number 1 Louisville last week. And Howard's guys aren't beating a bunch of stiffs. The Wolverines' own wins against North Carolina and Gonzaga. Both teams were ranked in the top 10 when Michigan beat them. Michigan Athletic Director Ward Manuel looks like a genius. At least when it comes to hiring a basketball coach. Of course, it hasn't all been perfect. Howard needs to do a deeper dive into the NCAA rule book. In early November, he inadvertently violated a rule when he mentioned recruits by name to the media. That's a no-no, though I give him a pass because it's a stupid rule. Howard made points with his "aw shucks" reaction. And his promise to try to follow the rules in the future. Returning to their roots. Chicago native Howard, a member of the Fab Five, is the latest prominent ex-player to return to his alma mater as head coach. Georgetown hired Patrick Ewing in 2017 and Memphis brought back Penny Hardaway in 2018. There are certain to be more on the way. Especially if Howard, Ewing, and Hardaway win a lot of games. Duke, for one, figures to select a former player when Mike Krzyzewski finally calls it a career. Ex-Blue Devils Steve Wojciechowski, currently at Marquette, Jeff Capel, Pitt, Chris Collins, Northwestern, Bobby Hurley, Arizona State, and Tommy Amaker, Harvard, are waiting patiently. Whoever doesn't get hired this time will be in line when it opens again. And it will. Ask UCLA how it has worked for the guys who followed John Wooden. Or Indiana about life after Bob Knight. At least an alum realizes the difficulty of trying to keep their schools competing at high level. At Michigan, Howard followed the winningest coach in program history. Bylian set a standard with 2 NCAA title game appearances and 9 NCAA bids in 12 seasons. It is going to be difficult for Howard to match Bylian's success. But not impossible. He needs to recruit like a maniac, obviously. He must surround himself with smart basketball people. He has to improve each game as a strategist and motivator. And, the crucial final piece, Howard needs some luck. The ball to bounce his way at a crucial moment. The referee needs to make a critical call in the Wolverines' favor. Illini version 2.0. Illinois coach Brad Underwood has plenty of time left on his coaching clock. He turns 56 on Saturday. He's a kid, wrote the 58-year-old sports writer. Let's say 10 years from now, after Underwood leads Illinois to a pair of national titles and a handful of Final Four appearances, the coach decides to step away. Is there a former player who might be ready to replace him? Here are 5 who could become the Juwan Howard of Illinois. Roger Powell, currently an assistant coach at Gonzaga, the Rev was a crucial player on the second most popular team in Illinois history. Powell started for the 2005 NCAA runner-up before playing pro ball in the U.S. and overseas. He started his coaching career in 2011 at Valparaiso and also worked at Vanderbilt before joining the Bulldogs this season. Just 36, Powell will be a head coach somewhere soon. In another decade, he will be ready to move to the Big Ten. D. Brown, currently an assistant at UIC, the 35-year-old is arguably the most popular player in school history. Bring him back as coach and there will be a run on headbands at local sporting goods stores. Brown was hugely successful at Illinois, named an All-American and Sporting News Player of the Year his junior season. Assistant coach suggestion, Darren Williams. Deon Thomas, the school's career scoring leader and recent Hall of Famer, Thomas coached at Lewis and Clark Community College and was on the staff at UIC. Currently part of the Illinois broadcast team, there would be no need to introduce Thomas to the players. The 48-year-old had a long pro career overseas, so he can recruit internationally. Kendall Gill, the 51-year-old, was a star for the most popular team in school history. His Flying Illini reached the 1989 NCAA Final Four and finished a push-off away from the title game. Gill kept playing a high level after college, scoring 12,914 points in 15 NBA seasons for 7 teams. Gill has stayed involved in the game as an analyst and is beloved in CU for his long-time work with Cunningham Children's Home. Georgi Bazanishvili, the current Illini standout, might have to be the guy who follows Underwood. In less than 2 seasons, the good-natured Georgian has won over the Illini faithful with his ability and enthusiasm. He is the closest thing to Brown in terms of fan adulation. He is a long way from trading in his jersey for a clipboard and whistle. After his Illinois career, he will likely take a shot at pro basketball. Then, he can try coaching. No better place for number 15 than CU.